Do you see your work as having a historic dimension?
From time to time, I quote from art history allegory of historical painting. Today's art draw on art history since the creation of the pyramid.
You have lived in 3 different countries: Japan, France, and Italy. Has your citizenship to 3 very different cultures and countries influenced your work? And can you elaborate?
Since my encounter with Baroque art in Italy, I rediscover my Japanese culture. I discover an opposition between saturation and emptiness, between Baroque and minimalism. I studied French literature at the faculty in Tokyo, where I discovered semiology, Roland Barthes, and Saussure. In search of the French language, I arrived in France. The French language helped me to build a clearer and more logical thought.
Through the images you make and their titles, your photographs reference many other artists as well as historical and cultural figures. How do your sources influence your work? Do they appear as inspiration before you begin, or do they appear after the shoots?
I think that the first material of art is art itself. Art is the definition of art, as states Joseph Kossuth, an artist. André Malraux, an art historian, confirms the artist's first material of the artist is always another work of art. Benjamin Constant, a French revolutionary, has a good formula: art achieves the goal it does not have. Art is not a sign, but a form. Art historian Henry Faucillon says this: the sign signifies while the form signifies itself. In short, before signifying, art signifies itself. The definition of art is art and, as a fact, art generally refers to art before anything else. In any case, I want to introduce into my work otherness and alternality, impurity and hybridization. The fact of introducing into my own works the reference to works and made in the past by other artists is one of the gestures by which I proceed to this hybridization.
You have commented that your use of makeup, specifically kabuki traditional makeup, is used not to create an identity but to erase identity. How does your use of makeup factor into the creative process?
Western makeup is designed to beautify. It promotes the particular and the singular. In exact opposition to Western makeup, traditional Japanese makeup, shironuri, aims at abstraction, at indifference. Shironuri, literally painted in white, tends to only erase, depersonalize, mask. It condemns the singularity of the face, sticks to the face by covering it with white, erase all individuality. A geisha, thus made up in white, does not seek any perfection. She only aims to resemble a geisha. Under her white mask, the geisha tends to identify herself not with the imaginary ideal, but, on the contrary, with an abstract idea, a generic form, a symbolic register, a feminine archetype, an essential Japanese substance. The nuri is in reality a mask between visibility and invisibility, between disappearance and revelation, between appearance and abolition. My monochrome self-portrait gives a visible expression to the intangible, the immaterial and the spirit of Zen, where the being, freed from its ordinary limitation, tends to merge with the duration of time.
Do you think a person's true identity can ever be established through a photograph?
My photographs have nothing to do with truth or with any reality. They are ritual, ceremony of disappearance. One could say they are lies for rather fiction. Art itself is a fiction. The artist himself is a fiction, and more than anything, identity is a fiction.
Do your photographs have a symbolic or metaphoric meaning?
For 25 years, my monochrome self-portrait, made without Photoshop, have followed an invariant conceptual protocol. They have become my signature. I see these self-portraits as timeless and abstract portraits, that is to say, freed from the anecdote. This particular fixity of the subject, this indifference, as if the image contained in itself is absence of limit, respond to a very old process of infinity temporality in a restricted framework that goes back to the Flemish primitive. This dimension of infinity is correlated to a protocol and a logic of abstraction that obviously place these self-portraits beyond a problem of self-representation.
Clothes and ancient artifacts have figured in your work, especially in the Bride series. You have subverted the normal use and wearing of clothing, and your objects have lost their contextual meaning. By doing this, do you feel that you are being subversive? Or are you looking to establish a new meaning that is individualized? Or how does your work address social or cultural meaning?
My photographs have never had the ambition to document real, nor to deliver a sociological story, nor to proclaim a political manifest. Precisely, point one. Real is what my images want to challenge by going against what is, by rejecting the state of affairs, by accepting the responsibility of transforming things as they are. Point 2. Sociology is what my images object to by rejecting the voluntary servitude of family and heredity, of belonging and communities. Point 3. The political manifest is what my images are wary of while they call for more malice in language. My ambition goes elsewhere. I consider the condition of possibility of representation the presupposition of meaning, the overdetermination of the image, I am to say, the absence necessary for any representation, to assert the ambiguity or equivocation constitutive of meaning, to show the lack required at the heart of the image, of any image. because an image never represents anything but what is not present. An image only represents an absence. I would even say that any image presents an absence at its heart. I hope you enjoyed my video. See you!